The quest of the pilgrims. Pilgrims traveled with the traders to the distant lands in caravans and ships. The most well-known of these pilgrims are the Chinese Buddhist pilgrims, like Faxian, who came to the subcontinent about 1600 years ago, Xuanzang, who came about 1400 years ago, and I King, who came about 50 years later than Xuanzang. They all wrote about their journeys, the dangers they faced, the monasteries they visited, and the books they carried back with them. Xuanzang, who came back to China by land route, carried back with him statues of the Buddha made of gold, silver, and sandalwood. He also brought back 600 manuscripts loaded on the backs of 20 horses. Over 50 manuscripts were lost while crossing the river Indus when his boat capsized. How Faxian returned to China. Faxian started his journey back home on a ship with some merchants. After only about 2 days, there was a storm. Faxian threw his personal belongings into the sea like the others to lighten the ship, but clung to his books and the statues of Buddha that he had collected. He has described the rough weather and the boundless sea. After 90 days, he reached Java, from where he took another merchant ship to China. Nalanda. Nalanda was the most well-known Buddhist monastery of the period. Xuanzang and other pilgrims spent time studying in Nalanda. They have described it as a place where the teachers are of the highest ability, following the teachings of Buddha. The rules are strict, discussions are held throughout the day, and the old and young help each other mutually. Learned men from different cities visit Nalanda to settle their doubts. The gatekeeper keeps a strict vigilance. The beginning of Bhakti. During this time, the concept of Bhakti started gaining importance. Bhakti implies a person's devotion to his or her chosen deity. Bhakti became a central feature of later Hinduism, in which Shiva, Vishnu, and goddesses such as Durga were worshipped. Those who followed the path of Bhakti emphasized individual devotion to a god or goddess. According to belief, the chosen deity would appear to the devotee in the form desired. Thus, the deity could be thought of as a human being, lion, or tree. Artists have made beautiful images of these deities. They were placed in places called temples. Bhakti inspired the best of sculpture, poetry, and architecture. Anyone, rich or poor, high or low, could follow the path of Bhakti. The idea of Bhakti is presented in the Bhagavad Gita, a sacred book of the Hindus. Here Krishna, the god, asks Arjun, his friend and devotee, to abandon all dharmas and take shelter only in him.